Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, April 16th. So today we have the moon in Pisces all day. Of course, Pisces being a water sign, we are highly emotional, super intuitive. We are definitely more hypersensitive to the energies of our environment and that we pick up from other people. The moon in Pisces is here to awaken us to what it is that we need to do for our spiritual selves. We need to renew ourselves, refresh ourselves. We need to kind of give ourselves permission to move away from the mundane tasks and chores of our reality and live in la la land for just a moment so that we can really attach ourselves to a vision, to a dream, to an imaginary fantasy that, of course, gets us all riled up, gets us excited, downloads us with mission and purpose, really sets the tone for what it is that we want to pursue from here. Now, there are 11 different aspects here today. 10 of them involve the moon. The moon will make a positive interaction with the true node, which does suggest that we are making some positive plans. We are forming a strategy. We are seeing the steps needed in order for us to get from where it is that we're at to where it is that we desire to be. A lot of this is because of the emotional growth that we've been kind of pushing ourselves through, and we are connecting the dots on where it is that we've been blocking ourselves. And of course, once you become aware of it, you can flip the script. The moon will come up to, bump into, sit next to Saturn, the Lord of Karma, who of course is in this Pisces energy as well. Now, this does have the ability to bring in a little bit of a weight, a little bit of a heavier emotion. We do kind of lean into that negative narrative. Why? Well, because we have to kind of break ourselves down in order to build ourselves up a better way. And Mr. Saturn is here to deconstruct our old false illusions about ourselves, about our beliefs, in order for us to build something stronger in its place. Because of this, we do kind of want to run away from reality. And although it was fun to give ourselves permission to do that, to live in la la land, to concoct a dream and a vision, in this particular aspect, it's because we feel weighted with the roles and responsibilities, with the commitments and the obligations in which we've made, especially to other people. And it seems that doing what we said we were going to do to other people is really conflicting with what it is that we need to be doing for ourselves. The moon will then make a positive interaction with Uranus, the great awakener, who is in this Taurus energy, and you best believe we are about to have an aha moment, an epiphany, a breakthrough. What is it? It's where it is that we need to really close the door on some old attachments. This Taurus energy that Uranus is in has us really recognizing on what it is that we're overly attached to in our physical realm, whether it be people, places, things, doesn't matter. We are praying for new. And when we're praying for new and we're trying to manifest new, we have to let the old attachments go. This is essentially where it is that we're going to have a shake up, a wake up, and change our perspective away from looking back in the past and orienting ourselves at least to the present moment, if not the future. Now, the moon will get into the boxing ring with Venus. Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, money, who is in this Gemini energy, really testing the waters and experimenting with what it is that we want to do with ourselves, with our lives, with our routines, with our relationships, really kind of trying to spice things up. See whether the grass is greener on the other side. Really identify where it is that, you know what, we're bored, we're discontent with the old. Now, this is a square, which means that this isn't going to be very much fun. It's not going to feel good. It's not going to highlight positive thoughts at all. And it can become very overwhelming to the point where we just want to check out of reality, curl up in a ball, and let this time period pass. What we should be taking out of this is a realization on who and what we are holding on to and who and what is currently blocking us from moving forward. Again, the Pisces energy is here to provide endings and closures. And we are about to move into Aries energy and, of course, have a new moon solar eclipse in Aries energy that is like the ultimate fresh, clean slate for new beginnings to actually take place. But of course, we have to sit in the funk of what it is that we no longer want to experience in order to create a new framework on what it is that we want to create in its place. The moon will then semi-square, which is a little bit of a tension point, with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, wisdom, blessings, who is in this Aries energy, really pushing us to build ourselves up, to reinvent ourselves, to rebrand ourselves, to put ourselves out there in a big, brand new way, creating new opportunities for our growth, for our expansion, for us to level up. Well, the semi-square here is because emotionally speaking, we're not all on board. We have more wrapping up than we do being initiated. And because of that, there's a little bit of an emotional disconnect where we feel overwhelmed, where we feel the pressure that we are putting on ourselves to kind of reinvent ourselves, to create new opportunities. It comes with a lot of weight, a lot of responsibility. The sun in Aries is going to bump into Neptune. Neptune is in its place of power in Pisces energy, really representing our dreams, our creativity, our delusions. Now the sun is shining a bright light on this Aries energy, where it is that we have to start fresh, where it is that we have to kind of reinvent ourselves, where it is that we have to take the initiative to start something new. And what we get here is one of two things. We either get so overwhelmed with what it is that we feel like we should be doing that we shut down, we escape, we want to evade, run, avoid all things in our reality, or it could shine a bright light on new inspirations, new dreams, new creative solutions, which I would hope all of us could tap into and really kind of strategize a brand new plan of leaving the past behind and making some very huge leaps forward. The moon in Pisces will then trine Mars, who is in Cancer energy. We get this trine because it is some water on water action. What we get is a boost in our boldness, in our courage, in our bravery, in our inspiration, in our creativity. What it does is it jacks our feelings all the way up. So let's hope that we can stay on the good side of our feelings and our emotions here. It shows us where it is that we have restlessness, where we have ants in our pants, where we're eager to get started and jump into something new. But it also is going to illuminate to us our impulses. And sometimes impulses are good because it pushes us out of our comfort zone. And if we act on those impulses, we could be taking a risk that we wouldn't otherwise allow ourselves to take. However, most of the time, if we act on impulses, especially not thinking through very carefully the consequences of our actions, we actually make a mess for ourselves. Now, this is a trine, so I would say that most of us are leaning to the positive effects of this particular aspect. It is definitely triggering new excitement, new passions, new desires within us. It is having us kind of focused on where it is that we need to dance to the beat of our own drum, be a little bit more independent on our solo adventure of really kind of acquiring new mission, new purposes, new meanings, new goals. And it's going to fire us up and make us a little bit more in tune with ourselves, with what it is that we're feeling, with what it is that we're thinking, with what it is that we need. This is jacking up our instincts, our intuition, and we are just kind of stepping away from the crowd just to see what it is that we need within ourselves. The moon will be semi-squaring, again, another tension point, with the sun. This is an overlap, realizing where it is that the old is old and dying and ending and closing, and where the new is beginning, initiating, and where it is that it's actually coming to life. And what we're left with is this present moment in realizing where it is that we have to kind of free our hands up by letting go of the past and open those hands up to put them out and receive the blessings and rewards of the new energies that are trying to create new situations and circumstances in our lives. Now, is this going to feel good? No, it's a semi-square. It's never supposed to feel good. It's supposed to highlight the tension. It's supposed to kind of show you where it is that you're overwhelmed and just tired of certain circumstances. And that element of feeling like you've had enough is exactly the element that you need in order to make a change, in order to push yourself forward, away from what it is that you're overly attached to, that's blocking your progress from actually moving on. The moon will then sextile Mercury. This is a beautiful energy, a beautiful vibe, because it means that after this dysfunction, this awkwardness, this not so nice thoughts and feelings coming up and creeping up in us, we get our heart and our head on the same page. Emotionally, the moon is very, very ready to see where it is that we kind of have to let go of that emotional baggage in order to be lighter and brighter moving into a new adventure. Mercury, of course, ruler of the mental plane, shutting down very slowly as we get deeper and deeper into this pre-retro shade period. Mercury is in Taurus energy. We're very focused on the here and now. We're focused on our current circumstances now. And whatever it is that we've identified that doesn't feel good, that doesn't look right, that doesn't provide us with safety, security, doesn't provide us with happiness and joy, we need to change. And that change needs to happen emotionally and mentally before it could ever happen in our physical realms. So this is an attempt in order to bring things full circle and really kind of make peace within ourselves on what needs to stay, what needs to go, what needs to die, and what needs to grow. The moon will then semi-square Pluto, the great transformer himself, in this Aquarian energy. So this is a semi-square. This is going to bring up a lot of not nice thoughts, a lot of not nice feelings. Why? Well, because Pluto has this beautiful idea to take us down memory lane and remind us of our pain, of our trauma, of our suffering, showing us where it is in every instance that we gave our power away to other people, where it is that we did not boss up to take control over our lives, where we let other people star in the movie that should have been us, other people write the script that we should have been writing for ourselves, and the situations, the circumstances that actually led us into. Now, why do we want to experience this, you may ask? Why do we want to be overwhelmed? Why do we want to feel the pain, the disappointment, the betrayal that we've done to ourselves? Well, because it should act as a catalyst for you to light a fire in your heart space and under your ass to not only never make those same mistakes again, but to boss you up to a new level of empowerment where you change the game. The Aquarian energy is showing us where it is that we've felt the blocks, we felt the challenges, we felt the restrictions in life. The Aquarian energy is here to set us free, here to liberate us. And we do that by examining the boundaries that we semi-lacked in the past and the boundaries that we need to create now in order to protect us from being able to fall victim to the lower vibrations and frequencies that we found ourselves in the past that had us making decisions to put other people in charge of our lives. This is an aha moment. We're peeling back the layers in our memories, in our emotions, in our psyche. We're really starting to see where it is that we were at that particular point in our life with the self-love, self-worth journey, and recognizing where it is that we put other people above ourselves. We have to take our power back. That's what Pluto is here to do. He is here to transform us by showing us the darkness and leading us into light, by pushing us into our pain and showing us how to make that element a power. The last thing we got going on here today is the moon interacting with Chiron, the wounded healer. Now, is this going to feel good? No. Should it feel good? No. What are we going to gain from this? A whole lot of insight on where it is that the victim mentality has got to go. Why? Because the identity that we have created for ourselves has been mainly based on telling the saddest stories that we've ever experienced. We are too closely attached to our pain and trauma story. We are recognizing while going through the healing journey that when you unpack that emotional and mental baggage from the past where your pain and trauma and suffering has stemmed from, and when you do the work to turn that pain into power, turn that darkness into light, that most people have no clue who it is that they are without this quote unquote victim story to blame. We are going through an empowerment phase. You cannot still connect yourself to the poor, woe is me storylines that you might have experienced that were not meant to be a part of your identity, but essentially to push you into your power. Take a good look at your pain story. Take a good look at the pain and trauma, the number one story that everyone kind of goes to in competition to see who had it worse. A lot of this is basically, we're just holding on to it to justify our inability to boss up, to take responsibility and authority over our lives. We have to eliminate the storyline. So the moon being in Pisces energy, super in tune with the victimhood mentality. but also pushing us to bring this full circle, to provide us with an ending and a closure, and to pluck out the spiritual life lessons from the not so nice earthly experiences that we've had here in order to see what it was supposed to teach us, which was 100% to learn and grow from it, to empower ourselves from it, instead of basically making it a part of our identity and who it is that we see ourselves and who it is that we tell people that we actually are. It's time to revisit that story, revise the story, rewrite some chapters, restructure the whole storyline, the whole soul contract. And this is just scratching the surface of some of the topics and themes that we will be experiencing once Mercury goes retrograde.